How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man.
It's
I'm good.
It's been a minute since we've been talking about finally kind of putting this
Yeah,
together.
yeah. I'm good, man. I'm grateful for the people that came out this evening with us to listen to the tape before it comes out. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, man.
Grateful.
Like obviously we got the album like last week, so we had like a little bit of time to sit with it and kind of explore, the themes kind of relating to the album. And as you kind of expressed at the beginning of everyone kind of listening to it, you put a lot of emphasis on like mental health.
Yeah.
And how men, as far as mental health goes, priority around that isn't really given too much attention. Could you give us, I guess, a little bit of background as to what kind of inspired you to
So what
do
triggered
this?
that is obviously what I'm going through in my own life now with my younger sibling being in hospital. He had a mental breakdown and he had a situation that obviously landed him in hospital
Yeah.
with an indefinite sentence in hospital. So that kind of triggered it for me, where it's like different. Obviously, I'm in music and entertainment, but I understand that all fields, like men go through a lot of pressure mentally, and there's not a lot of outlets. And if there is outlets, it's like an outlet that you have to find for yourself.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring awareness to the fact that sometimes you could be processing your outlet without knowing it. Like I said earlier, a lot of men go football. Like there's people out there who don't know that football is their outlet. Like people just go goals on a Saturday and Sunday, but they repeatedly do it. It's like a routine. But little do they know, if they fall out of that routine, things start falling apart. You know what I mean? Little things like that would be an outlet. Just that little half an hour running around with your guys or whoever you go play football against. That's for you that's where you feel free. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I used to ride bikes. Me and my boy Sky is here. We used to ride bikes, and I used to say that being on a bike is like the freest that you'll feel. Like it's like everyone has like a thing. Like I've had a family member that's died on a bike.
Yeah.
But being on a bike, bro, it's like it's like the freedom that you feel on a bike is different. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like even just riding, like you see it like with America and stuff, like Philly especially, like Meek Mill and stuff. You see like they ride their bikes and they're proper advocates for the bike because it's an outlet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like if you don't ride your bike for a week, bro, they start falling apart. And men don't, like, I feel like men don't realize that what their outlets are.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing awareness to what your outlet is. You might, like, there's certain men that, bro, you might draw every evening. You just find yourself doodling and drawing things, and you don't even know, like, this is your outlet for you to express yourself and just have that safe space to say, this is my expression. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's more just raising awareness of what your outlet is, to get rid of all that mental pressure that builds up. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a really kind of interesting point because myself, I'm part of the Caribbean community, and what I'm finding is that like a lot of men who are kind of like in the elder generations, a lot of them are being pushed into, therapy because a lot of them are breaking with all the the hardships that they've kind of tucked inside throughout the course of their lives. Yeah. But then, there's been that kind of attitude of don't complain, keep it to yourself, because it hasn't ever been kind of like that support network of actually, reaching out to friends or family to really kind of delve into what is they're going through their day to day. Like, why would you say there's like been that kind of stigma around kind of people, but particularly men?
I think that's a generational thing, man.
Okay.
It's just generational. When you don't know better, you just kind of repeat the same things that you've been taught. In it, like, there's a lot of things that I still live by today that I've been taught by my mum.
Yeah.
That are not necessarily right with this day and age. So it's kind of like men, we've always just been, you're the tough guy, just suck it up kind of thing. But I feel like more people have this conversation now where you feel people are talking about it's safe, like it's alright to talk, it's alright to go cry, it's alright to express yourself in a certain way. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the conversation is being brought about more. But I feel like me, I have it just, like I said, my personal situation, I feel like I'm just kind of falling into this place where it's like, it's more apparent to me that, yo, like my pals, they fall apart. Like I've got one pal who, he went to a casino one night, lost his money, left the casino. Next thing, he's in jail for 3.5 years.
Oh.
Like, but having that realization, it's like you could have just went home and slept.
Yeah.
And just been like, you lost your money, cool, fair enough. But you could have just went home and slept, bro. You know, like that realization of just internalizing how you feel at this moment. Like, I've lost all my money. There's pressure on me. I've got bills coming up. Cool. I'm aware of this. But what's ever stopped me before? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I always say, like, bro, man, worry about so much things. And the worst thing that's going to happen is a bit of discomfort for a bit. That's the worst thing God's going to give you, you know?
Yeah.
Discomfort.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it, bro. Nothing has ever stopped, man. Like, as bad as it seems, nothing has ever stopped, man.
Yeah.
It's just discomfort. And you just have to maneuver through that discomfort for a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just being able to just say, all right, cool, I feel a certain way right now. I might lose it right now. There's pressure on me, and I might break from this pressure. But it's just understanding that pressure and how to navigate it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like obviously the tape goes through different moods, innit? There's like the backbreakers, like where I'm talking on things in like relationships, certain things. But most of it is just guys just feeling like, yo, it's alright to speak on certain things. You know what I mean? So I played the tape to my brother. I speak to my brother on the phone every day, 15 minutes. He gets a 15-minute call to me every day. I played him the tape and he was like, it's your most vulnerable music. Where there's certain things that man might not talk about in music, bro, because all the music is for the clubs and for, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just, yo, if there's a TE support and he hears, oh, rah, TE spoke on that, rah, you know, that's deep, you know. Rah, you know what? Let me try and sort out what's, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really all it was, man.
And how does it feel to you, like when you touch people in that way?
Yeah, bro, I'm always grateful for it.
Yeah.
It's like I said,
Does it surprise you?
Sometimes, because people from all different walks of life kind of look into it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's coming to a point now where it's just like, it shouldn't surprise me, just because obviously I know like there's a level of talent that I've got, bro.
Yeah.
Not in the most humble way. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a level of rap that man uphold. Me and my guy Emac, I say Emac, this one brother that upholds that level of rap with me. I just feel like vulnerability and just being real in the music, bro. I can't only make club songs. I can make them, but I can't only make those things. Like, music is very much therapy for me. I don't sit down with a therapist very often, but I sit down with my mic. Yeah. And I always say therapy is just a space for you to actualize and come to terms with how you feel. Yeah. And music allows me to do that. Like, when I turn on my mic on my Logic program when I'm recording and stuff on my own, it allows me to have that space to just say whatever I want to say. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like I just want to influence people to find your space to talk. Because like I say, like, man's got a daughter. She's gonna be 5 in 2 days. I'll drop the mixtape comes out on the same day on her birthday. But in order for me to raise a decent woman, I need to be a decent man. I need to be aware of how I feel and how I react to certain situations.
And when did you realize that? Because like me myself, I've just become a father.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. And there's a lot of aspects to what you're saying which resonates with me, as far as being a man and raising a son is a lot different to being a man and raising a daughter, mainly because obviously raising a son, we can kind of see things, or not see things, so to speak, but more so envision the challenges that they'll go through as a man, because we've kind of walked that road ourselves. But then when it kind of comes to raising a daughter, it's a completely different experience, because we ourselves have come across women who are damaged for whatever reason, mainly pertaining to difficult relationships with men, whether that be with partners and or fathers or whatnot. So like, how did like having a daughter kind of change your outlook on life how it was before?
So what I say is that it shouldn't take a daughter for most men to like kind of like understand women, but sometimes that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be that way, but it is, isn't it? Until you have a daughter, you don't like. What I say is that love is unconscious. Like, you see, people try and separate love. Like, the love you have for your mum, the love you have for your daughter, the love you have for your partner is different. It's all the same love. Love is one thing, bro. It's unconscious. Like, when I see my daughter running, the first thing I think of, how could this go wrong? Like, that's how I think, innit? It's like, that's kind of how you think of the person you love. Like, have you eaten today? How is your it's unconscious. Like, you don't have to think about it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm with my daughter, I think about her safety. I think about, have you eaten? Are you clean? Like, if it's bedtime, we're gonna bath, brush your teeth, and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? When you think about your partner, it's that same unconscious love. Have you eaten? Are you well? How are you feeling? Like, are you ready? You know what I'm trying to say? And people try and separate it, and I've stopped trying to separate what love is, bro. Like, love is just one thing to me, innit? In my eyes, it's just unconscious. Like, you don't have to overthink it too much. And I think that's what my daughter's brought out of me. It's like, I don't second guess like the love that I have for her. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's automatic, and it's unconscious. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what love is. Like, there's no, like, the love I have for my mum, I have for my kid. Like, it might be a different type of love, because I worry about you. Like, I'm not gonna worry, mum, you've eaten. You've eaten, you know what I'm saying? You've eaten for the day, you're good, you know what I'm saying? But it's the same love. Like, I wonder if you've eaten. I mean, if it's a Sunday and I know that you might not want to cook on a Sunday, have you eaten? Can I order you? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Is that love is just unconscious, bro. And I think that's when my daughter woke up in me. It's that just realizing that you can't separate what love is. Like, the love that I have for my guys and stuff, it's like my real boys and stuff, it's unconscious. Like, how are you? How's your family, bro? Like, I'm thinking about your family. I know what you're going through. I know things that you're going through, and it's just on the back of my mind. Like, how it's unconscious. You know what I mean? I don't have to, like, do you know what I'm saying? It's just there, right? Like, I automatically just think about how you're doing and how your world's going. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, one of my guys just came back from holiday, and I just made it a point to just let him tell me how it was. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I was just listening. Like, how was your experience, bro? Because I want to hear how your experience was. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And just be that ear for people, bro. Because sometimes, like, people don't have not everyone has an ear for people, like, to talk to. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people keep things like this, things I don't know about my closest people, bro, that they keep to themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just about opening up and just letting man know, look, I'm an ear. If there's something you want to say, like, I'll find myself in conversation with people, might be talking about one thing, and then next thing you know, we're talking about something deep, where it's like, we didn't mean to get here, but the fact that I was listening allowed you to get here, and now you've got it off your chest.
Gave it the potential.
Right, and now that you've spoken it out loud, you've realised how you feel about this situation, or you've realised that this is a situation that I'm aware of. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just about being mindful, bruv. Man.
And no, thanks for that. And on like the topic of like fathers, like, there seems to be like a lot of emphasis on the absence of fatherhood in this project. And I think like, if I'm to be honest, like, this is like one of a few projects which really kind of projects that feeling of abandonment in a very, like, vivid way. And with that, like, how would you say people's life, would you say, sorry, that the lives of people around you would have changed drastically if they got just a little bit more love? or feeling of love?
I know how it would have changed my life, bro.
Yeah.
So I can't begin to imagine how it changed. Like I said, certain people are going through things that they don't make aware to other people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like that abandonment thing is just becoming aware. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't hate my pups.
Yeah.
I don't have that resentment in my heart no more. But I've had to grow to this place where I don't have that resentment, because I realize that people go through things in their life where they just don't have control over certain things. So they're not aware of where they are in life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, bro, my pups. I'll just say, bro, you know, love will make all the difference, man.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause there's things like, even to this day, like, even when I'm at home on my own, yeah, like, this is one thing that sits with me, like, little things. 'Cause, so, for example, my mum always used to say, keep the house tidy, because you never know who have to bring you home one day. Like, she used to say, you drop down a road, you come home, you never know who's gonna have to bring you home. And so when I'm at home and my house is messy, I always remember that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what would my dad have said for me to remember? Because that keeps my house clean, bro. Like, I'll be at home and I'll just be sitting, no guests coming, no nothing, and it'll just be messy. And I'll remember that saying from my mum. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, keep the house tidy, 'cause you never know. You drop down the road, someone have to bring you home. You know what I'm saying? And someone brings you home and your house is messy. It's like, why did I save this guy? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I just think, what are them little teachings that your dad would teach you? Because, you know, like, for example, man will go football park with their dad, kick a little ball, and he might say something on that day that sticks with you forever. Like, there's things that stick with me forever that my mum has said, bro. Sunday cleaning, these little, you know what I'm saying? I know he's a man that, like, this my brother right here, man. He's a man that will understand from a Caribbean background that mum's on the same kind of vibe, that certain things he says to you will just stick with you. And dad never said it, so you don't know what would have stuck with you through that. You know what I mean? There's certain situations man's been in where, your dad's voice might have just come in and said, yo, go home. You don't need to be out here. You don't need to be around these people. Do you know what I mean? In the tape, I say, your mum was 14, hanging around with big men. I didn't need to be, though. And maybe my dad would have been the one to tell me that, because Mumsy was busy working. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? And my dad might have been the one to recognize, yo, you know what? Your age, you're hanging around with these, just not going to go the right way. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you kind of just think of what could have been, almost. You know what I'm saying?
I think like a really kind of interesting song on the album is Keep Sinning. Like
sinning. It's called sinning.
Sinning.
I think I sent it to you lot. Sorry, I sent it to you lot as keep on the thing. It's keep sinning, but it's just called sinning.
Oh,
you
got you. We'll edit that part.
I was actually supposed to have another rapper on that song, but I ended up doing it myself.
Got you. Yeah. I think that's a really like heavy song, because it kind of speaks to people feeling trapped with their options. Yeah,
with that one, it's like, that's me talking to myself, really.
Yeah.
Bro. It's like, you think you're winning.
Yeah.
Like, you actually think you're winning, but you keep sinning, do you know what I'm saying? And that's me actualizing, like, that's me being aware of, like, certain things that I might not be on the right side of God, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's being aware of it is the first step to changing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly that. And I think the fact that kind of fits in an album which is putting heavy emphasis on therapy is very important, because for me, like, therapy is all about kind of understanding more about who you are as a person, and really kind of going down to, you know, the nitty gritty, as painful as it may be, to truly kind of understand the person you really are. And in the song, like, you present two options, either death or go to prison. And like, there's paths that we know that if we walk on, is gonna lead to this, that, or the other, but still move on it with the expectation that we'll be all right, or we'll be.
Do you know what it is? Because everyone thinks it's going to be different for them, innit?
Yeah.
It's what when I was coming up, the oldest, like, you know, you used to hear the older generation say, we've been through this,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and you just think, nah, this is a different time, bro. This is all 30 years later, and now I'm just like, right, the next generation's going through the same thing we went through, and it's like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's just it's
repeating of the cycle.
It's repeating of a cycle, bro.
And do you find that when you might when you kind of like maybe trying to like give wisdom to those who are younger, to you or in younger generations, do they kind of respond to you in the same way?
I mean, I guess I don't try and give wisdom to that many people, but the people that I do talk to, they do take heed, man.
Yeah.
Just because they obviously feel a certain way about TE, do you know what I'm saying? So they'll listen and they'll take heed. But like with everything, I feel like everyone just has to go and live their own life, man, and make their own mistakes and I feel like there's an actual problem in that. Just accepting that everyone just kind of has to go through it, because it doesn't change like that, innit? Yeah. But everyone kind of has to go through it, bro. Like you get with same thing with men. It's like, bro, the only way they learn is by going through things. You know what I mean? You try and stop a guy at 14, you tell him, yo, by 16 you could be here, and next thing you know, by 16 he's there, because that curiosity. Do you know what I mean? I say it in the tape as well. I was living too cute. I can't blame no one else, because I was too curious. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just, you just always think, what if, bro? You're sitting in your house, you go to school the next morning. These lot weren't at home doing PlayStation and that. These lot were out. And then what? You was out, what? Till 1 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. We're at school, it's 8 in the morning. What do you mean 1 o'clock you do? And then it's like, that curiosity just starts building, you know what I mean? And you kind of have to venture into the world. But I feel like that's the problem there, innit? Is that the older generation, we have no choice but to just let people live their lives, bro.
Yeah. And do you think that then naturally brings on a level of accountability that people then don't become accountable for?
In a way, because what happens is people get older, and they become aware. Mm-hmm. Like it happens at different ages, but everyone becomes aware eventually. Do you know what I mean? You get bored of it, bro. Yeah. Like being outside, what I'm talking about. It gets too much at a point. You know what I mean? The pressure gets too much, bro. Like you see people go jail, you see people drop off, you see people die and stuff, and it just gets too much. You know what I mean? And then one day you have a kid, and it's like, now I've got a new lease of life, and it's like, what happens is people that don't find their purpose before having a kid, their child becomes their purpose. Yeah. You hear a lot. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You speak
people
to someone,
live through their children,
right? And I'm not on that, bro. Yeah, yeah. I'm not on. Yo, my child, because I wasn't put here to just be a dad. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I never wanna put my whole life, revolve my whole life around my child, and then grow up and be like, resent her because I didn't do certain things for myself. Yeah. And that's what happens with parents. Like they'll be like, oh, my child, and I gotta be a parent, and parent, and then 10 years later it's like, why did I even give up my life for you? Your youth's rude coming through the house. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You're like, bro, why did I do this for you? And then you start resenting it, and I'm not on that, bro. Yeah. I'm not on resent. I'm like, this is my life, innit? You're my daughter. I know I gotta look after you and be pups, but I'm not on just giving up my whole life for you. And I think that's fair. That's very fair, and it's being very aware, innit? Cause I don't want to be that. Like some, you know, certain times like it'd be like you're reminded of the sacrifices your parents made. Mm-hmm. Like, man, want to make sacrifices, but I want to give up. I don't want to sacrifice my life. Yeah. For my child, and I don't feel like I have to. Like I'm intelligent enough. There's enough resources around us where man don't have to give up my dream just so my kid can eat at night. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like the generation before us, a lot of them felt like they had to do that. Yeah. Like it's either have a child, look after this child, or go chase your dream. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and I never want to feel that against my child. I think that's good for her, so that in 10 years we've still got a healthy relationship, and I never feel resentment for her, because you never know how you're gonna feel. Exactly. Like now it's all love, and it's all, you're 5 years old, sick, cute, it's sick, but you know what I mean, 15, 16, you start bringing guys home, just like, who's this? You start getting vexed, and you start thinking, I could have been this, and I could have done this, and I could have done that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? My thing is just, bro, just try and find your purpose, like as soon as you can. Yeah, man.
Like no, like I think you've broken I think you've broken a lot of roads in many different ways. With how you've obviously changed your life with your music and so on and so forth. But you know, I have a person on my team who's massively into crypto. You know, massively into crypto, and I think he wouldn't forgive me if I didn't at least ask you a few questions on it. So obviously, like the way in which you've been able to kind of like monetize yourself, you've done so by providing NFTs. Yeah. Like how has it been kind of like making new inroads in that space? And
yeah, so with crypto, bro, I got obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So with me, I got an obsessive personality. So anything I get into that I like, I'm like, everything will go to the side for it. Family, music. Like the bad thing is that music will go to the side for other stuff that I get excited about. Do you know what I'm saying? So crypto is one of those things. My boy 6, he told me about crypto. It was March 2020. It was like February, March 2020, just before the pandemic hit. We were sitting in the studio and he was talking about Ethereum, Bitcoin. I heard about these things before, but you know, like when your brethren sit down, he's like, bro, check this out. And I'm just like, all right, bro, I'll check it out. Yeah. But as soon as I started reading, I'm just like, rah. And then I get deep into things. So I research, and then to the point where I'm coming back to you with things like, yo, what do you think of this, bro? Like, yo, did you check this out? And then that's how it started with me and crypto. So the whole lockdown obviously came. Everyone's trying to trade. Everyone's thinking about stocks. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's thinking their financial, like everything's sick now. You know what I'm saying? Lockdown, everyone's inside the house. We're all making money online. Everything's good. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got into crypto with him. And then I just do research, man. Like I said, I just get obsessive with research, bro. Like I'll be up every morning, companies, this, that, Mark Cuban, this person. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just did a bit of research on the NFT thing. And obviously, where music is concerned, I think it's good because copyright NFTs, obviously, with your supporters and your listeners, being able to fund your projects beforehand is like the main part of it. But obviously, them having ownership in the music as well, which obviously ties back to obviously the support system. So yeah, that was kind of my inroad to it, man. And then since then, I've just obviously thought about projects. Yeah, I'm actually going to start a blockchain development course myself, just so I can be a blockchain developer. I got this idea to do this metaverse, but it's called the Trapverse. Okay. So but what it, you heard it here first. But what it is though is that again, there's a lot of man like me, bro, who don't understand it, who don't like, they see NFTs, and I was speaking to someone earlier that's like, bro, I can't get my head around it. But with my thing with the trap verses, there's a lot of guys who understand the trap, bro. Like for example, I've got NFT taxis, they pay me weekly, taxis, NFT taxis. So my whole thing with this is like, I can make NFT like what do you call them again, NFT paraphernalia. Okay. So trap paraphernalia. So, and obviously, but that would get people from the streets that are into crypto starting to understand what NFTs are. For example, a man that's on road, you might go buy a certain thing, you get me? But if that's in the metaverse now, you buy your thing in the metaverse and it's paying you. So you start to understand, oh, right, this is just like the roads or just like what I do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that was my whole thing on it. So I'm going to do a blockchain development course. It's a 4-month course. It's like 10-15 hours a week, but it's just so I have an understanding. And I do a lot of that for my daughter as well, bro, because I understand that my daughter's world is different. Like when she's my age, it's going to be very different. Like the whole digital currency, electric cars, green gases and all this stuff that they're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? So I try and stay ahead for her. So if I make investments now for her, I just feel like she's got, like, I just really want to make sure her life, she has a fair start. She didn't ask to be born. You know what I'm saying? None of these youths asked to be born, bro. So I just feel like the least I can do being TE is at least make sure your life's good. Do you know what I'm saying? So if I make certain investments now, I've got plenty of time before she's 20 to make sure, yo, you've got a good start. You know what I mean? You want to go uni, go pay for that. You want to go business, pay for that. You want to travel for a bit when you're 18, 21, at least you can afford to do it. You know what I mean? So that's like my studying and my like crypto and this forward thinking is a lot of it's for my daughter, man. Yeah, bro.
And how has it been? Like I think we finish up here and then we'll kind of open it up to the floor. But how has it been kind of opening that conversation with people that you've kind of grown up with?
Yeah, like a lot of the men are open to it, bro. I had one of my brethren hit me up, invest in a coin. I talked him through it, how to invest in certain coins. So it's good having the information, because when people do want to do it, at least they've got someone who's like them. It's like, all right, I can hit T, or I can hit my boy who showed me how to do certain things. But the conversation, bro, I think it's undeniable where the world's going. I think if you're asleep, if you're not awake to it now, it might be too late for you. But I think it's undeniable where we're going in terms of digital currency, digital assets and things. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's the sooner you get onto it, the better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. No, thank you for that, man. I really appreciate the conversation. I think for the sake of time, it would be good to kind of open up the floor. So is there anyone that has any questions that they may want to ask?
I'm saying you man are quiet.
Don't be shy.
Jeez.
Test. Just back to the tape quickly. What's your favourite track on the tape and why?
Favorite track? Probably Fatherless Child, bruv. And just purely for the way that it sounds. Like it's just sonically, it's my favorite tune. I feel like that verse was hard. My verse was hard. But I also feel like White Soul was hard, bro. Like I know his verse word for word. And the reason I hit him is because he's a new father. He just had a little boy, and it was just kind of getting two perspectives, innit? Yeah. Like someone who's like my father's been absent through my life, but then someone who's just become a father who has a choice to be present. You know what I'm saying? So Fatherless Child's my favorite tune, man.
Do you think that one resonates with you the most?
Headaches resonates with me the most, only because I touch on things that I'm currently going through with my little brother and stuff. But it does resonate with me, obviously, being someone who came up with their father absent. You know what I'm saying?
Knowing what the tape was about, how did you pick the beats? Because it sounded a bit more up-tempo more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so the beats, I actually bought all the beats online. None of these, I think about three of those beats were specifically made for me. But I did a lot of just hunting online for beats, man. With this one, it was proper personal, because I record all my own music, and because I was in a zone while I was doing it. Emac knows this as well. I was just like, yo, let me just knock this out quick. Like I wasn't in the mood to wait for people to send me beats and me to try and find a vibe on those beats, you know what I'm saying? So I went hunting for beats that kind of fit the mood that I was in at the time. So I done the core body of this tape, like 6-7 tracks of it, I done within a week or two.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because like I was saying, like, because of the subject, I thought like it would be slow beats and a slow different vibe, but I was shocked that it was up tempo. So how did you sort of get your message across on those sort of beats? Because some of them kind of sound like party sort of club beats, but then you're talking about deep stuff. So how did you sort of marry the two?
So that's exactly how I did it. Just found the up tempo beat, but obviously brought it back to subjects that I like. Even with the backbreaker check and stuff, it's like subjects that we go through that we need to heal from. Do you know what I mean? Relationships and stuff. Man, them go through relationships, bro, where they might not see eye to eye with their partner or something. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was just to bring those kind of subjects to the forefront, really.
Yeah, bro. What motivates you? Like, what keeps you going day to day to keep doing your thing?
Day to day is just knowing that there's people that will show up for me more than I'll show up for myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, day to day, obviously, like, it's easy to just say, oh, my kid keeps me going. She don't, though, man. I don't want to sit here and lie. She don't. Like, that's not what keeps me going. Like, it's big. It's bigger than her, innit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole TE thing. I feel like man has a voice for people who don't necessarily don't have a voice, but don't realize that they have a voice yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the reason you're here. Do you know what I'm saying? Is because you resonate with something that I say. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like what keeps me going, bro, is that, man, knowing that, yo, the mission is bigger than me, bro. Like, man's been rapping for so long, and I haven't had a big breakthrough, like a radio hit or like a mad viral moment or anything. And I feel like I'm more comfortable just building like this, you know, just sitting in a room with people who rock with me. Eventually it's 100 people in a room, 1,000 people in a room. I'm just more comfortable just building like that, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of keeps me going, man, knowing that, yo, I was here for a reason. And there's people that, for example, there's people that have got married to certain songs that I've made, people that have had their first dance after marriage, people that have listened to the song after they've just had birth, bro. Like, new dads would be in the hospital, walking out the hospital with their kid on the first day and just be playing my music. You know, like, things like that. It's just like, raw, how do you get to that moment? Because you're never going to forget that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? People that do it, they never forget. I might, admittedly, like, I might forget the one person that shows me something and then another person shows me 5 years later, but they're never going to forget that. And I feel like for me to do what I do and for someone to resonate with it that much, to make it a staple of their life, do you know what I mean? It's bigger than me, man.
Yeah. So where does the name Dness come from? God, that name is a very out there name.
I've explained this before. TE is short for temper.
Okay.
So I used to be called Temper, bro. MC Temper or Temper, TEMPR. I used to spell it. And Dness is just a play on my surname, Dness.
Okay.
My name's Dness, so TE was short for Temper, and then it was TE Dness. I think I started thinking about a name change when Tiny started blowing up. Tiny Temper started blowing up.
Is that,
have you thought of a name change since then because of the way it sounds and how it's not as easy for people to kind of just...
Nah, do you see what it is, bro? It's too late for me to change my name now. It is what it is, and people do get it wrong. Like Alexa, you tell Alexa to play TE Dness, you gotta tell Alexa play Dness. You know what I mean? But bro, my name is what it is, man. I feel like it's my name now, innit? TE. It is what it is now. You know what I mean?
do you have a lot of fans who are like afraid to ask you that question?
Yeah, bro. People, Tedness, Teddiness, bro. Like, I get it all the time, but understandably, innit? Because in my head, it's just like, it just says this, but you know what I mean? It's being aware of that, but it's also a conversation starter, bro. Like, a lot. How do I say your name properly? Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it. I know in certain aspects it probably would hold me back because it's like, oh, bro, I can't even say your name. It's long. I can't even listen to your music. But at the same time, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing, my bro? You're someone who's like very open and honest in your music. You're starting to make yourself more vulnerable. Just a question slightly away from your tape. How do you separate the different parts of your life? So, you know, your family, your work, music. How do you keep those parts separate? Or do you actually just let them all flow together?
Sorry, brother. I want to be totally honest with you. Like, I need to use the toilet.
Oh.
Brother, I'm sitting here just drinking drinks after drinks. I'm going to answer your question, bro, but I just got to be real. I'm about to piss myself.
Go true.
Bro.
So firstly, you're okay now to answer, yeah?
Bro, how Go there. Bro, how I separate the things is I enter the zone when I make the music, innit?
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, the body of this work, a lot of my tapes are like this. Like the body, I'll have like 2 or 3 songs, and I'll decide I'm making a tape, and then the body of the work will be done in like a week or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I zone out, innit? And because I record all my own music as well, it's just me on my own. So it's like I go into a space where I start thinking about all the parts of my life, not just music and entertainment, but like how real life is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's compartmentalized. Is that the word? Compartmentalized through my actions, bro. Because like I said, when I'm making the tape, I'm literally alone until I send it to like my engineers or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of just secludes me from the outside world, which just makes me be me, innit? Like who I feel like I am, like the person I see in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Not who everyone else sees, because you know, like no one sees, like none of your two friends see you as the same. You know what I'm trying to say? No one knows you how you know you. Like how your missus sees you is not how your boys see you or something. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I feel like that time where I just seclude myself, just in my kitchen recording music, bro, is how I separate.
Thank you.
So the mixtape is called Hustlers Need Healing. Have you actually healed through this process? Number one.
Good question.
Number two.
I feel like I've come to terms with how I feel, and I know that I need to. I know there's things I need to heal from, but I feel like I've kind of started the conversation with myself. Like I know, obviously, I'm trying to start the conversation for other people. I feel like obviously with doing that, I've kind of come to terms with how I feel about certain situations in my own life. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And secondly, your music is always an expression of your vulnerability. You're always quite real in your music. So will you continue to be this way, talking about and being an advocate for men around mental health? And how long did it take you to take your brother's situation to just lay it all on the track? How long did that take you to do that?
I've been touching on my brother's situation since it happened. I mean, I kind of like put it in music and stuff, but it's been the last year's been like pretty heavy on the heart, where it's like it's given me time to just kind of understand like what my brother meant to me, like being physically here, do you know what I mean, and just being able to talk to him all the time. Sometimes you take those little things for granted, and then it's like a Sunday comes past and you want to go kick ball, and it's like, right, the footballer's not here, do you know what I'm saying? Or yeah, I just feel like it's I've come to terms with what the situation is and how much it's actually affected me, not so much everyone else, but how it's actually affected me, and how much I like I said, I get a 15-minute call with him every day, and I kind of have to wait for him to call. I can't call him. Like, I can send messages in, don't know when he's going to get them, but you can't just pick up the phone and just call him and talk to him, you know what I'm saying? Or just watch him play with my daughter and stuff like that. He was my daughter's favourite person. She loves him more than she loves me. So, and I think like parents always find that like their kids always love like an auntie or a uncle or something. You know what I mean? It's normal, isn't it? They're used to you. They love you. Don't get me wrong. They love you, but when it's uncle or something, you know, he's sipping them fizzy drinks and all these things. And I didn't know that he gave her a fizzy drink until like a year after. So she's like, yeah, uncle always gives me orange fizzy drink. I'm like, swear down. Yeah, all right, cool. It's just, yeah, man, just knowing that my daughter misses him as well, just kind of like, it brings it home, innit? And it's I'm aware of how I feel about that situation. I think like awareness is like the big word for me with this, is like just coming to terms with how you feel and how certain situations make you feel and how they've affected you and how you've had to kind of change everyday life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You saying we're easy, yeah? Cool.
Yeah, 1, 2. No, the first thing I was going to ask was like, how big does this go? But then obviously you mentioned your daughter, because you're speaking about your daughter a lot. And I said, yo, is that what drove you? But then obviously you spoke about your daughter and you said it's bigger than her. So I'm thinking, what's the end goal for your music career? What is it that you're trying to achieve?
So with me, bro, I don't have mad aspirations to be like a mad world superstar type of artist, man. Like I'm delving into helping out other artists and stuff. I feel like I have a voice and I have a purpose here, innit? And the end goal for that is to obviously fulfill that purpose, to hit the road, do some tours, do more shows, really be more structured with my releases. So a lot of my releases, if like I release a tape, I'll have no headline show for it. There'll be no catalyst for that tape. You know what I mean? A lot of people listen to the tape, they'll feel away, but little do I know, there's like a little pocket of 1,000 people that'll come out and celebrate that tape on the night with you. You know what I mean? So my end goal, bruv, is to finish as just a respected artist, bro. Like respected for obviously my craft and my skill set, but also my vulnerability and obviously the truths that I bring to the
Don't know,
platform,
everyone
you
here
know
can
what
already agree that you've already done that still, fam.
I mean? Thank you.
I believe we've got some in the front.
Yeah, so you obviously called the album Hustlers Need Healing. So the album's for the hustlers, and you said for today it's also for kind of men. It's like a safe space just for everyone in general as well. But what would you say is most misunderstood about yourself, or even just for men in general?
Most misunderstood for men.
Or yourself. What's most misunderstood about
You see
you?
what it
or
is?
just
Is
in
men
general?
bring it. I feel like men bring it on ourselves, but it's not our fault because we bottle up a lot of things and we just kind of just go through day to day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, see me. Like awareness is a big thing for me. So I know when people are going through things and they don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just become an ear for people because I know like sometimes I just want people to listen to me. I don't need your input sometimes. I know like people just want to be heard. Do you know what I mean? Like women especially get to an age. Men. It's one thing with men, but women. Remember, men we time out at a different age to women, innit? We have a longer lifespan when it comes to just being active and being able to network and being able to, you know what I mean, fluidity being in and out of different people's lives. So I feel like women come to a place where they start timing out, bro, and they start thinking of like what's next for me. You know what I'm saying? And men, we have a bit more time, but we're not as conscious as women. Like women start hitting 30 and they start thinking of a ring, all these things. Men, we hit 30 and we start thinking of, all right, cool, well, we've got till 40, innit? Let's just live like we was living at 25. You know what I'm trying to say? And with me, it's just like, bro, we just have to be aware. It's awareness, innit? That's just my big thing. It's just awareness, man. Just being aware of where we are. Do you know what I'm saying? And like what point of life we're in.
Yeah, but don't you think it's different for men and women as well? Like from 18, obviously, or even younger, you're just as a man. Obviously, women at maybe 30, you're thinking, oh, I need to look at this again. I need to look at that again. But for men, maybe from like 16, 18, you're thinking, I need to make it. I need to build something of myself. So
that's
it's like,
a lot
it's
of
like a different conversation both ways.
That's a lot of society pressures, man. Like you think as a man, like for example, men, when we go buy an outfit these days, an outfit's upwards of 300 quid, bro. Just an outfit for the night. Women can go get that done for £15, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like real fit, and that's society that makes you think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, see this outfit cost me 60 quid. 60 quid. I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have worn anything, but I went and got 60 quid outfit. Obviously, managed to get that like £100 for Jay's. So
inflation.
but I just did that as to tell myself, yo, bro, no brands, no nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like this it's a very selfish night, bro. It's about me. Do you know what I mean? It's not about the brands that I'm wearing. It's not about nothing. So I feel like a lot of society pressures, men that fall into that societal pressure, will always feel like they've got to give more than what they can take from the world. And there's a lot to take, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? We always feel like we got to give. There's a lot to take, bro. There's a lot of information out here, a lot of education out here, a lot of people that are willing to help us. It's just about knowing that those avenues are open to us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel, to answer your question directly, like it is a lot more pressure. I feel it's a lot more pressure on men. But at the same time, there's a woman out there who would say there's a lot more pressure on women.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a man, I can say there's a lot more pressure on us because I know how it feels. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that we battle with that people just don't see, bro. And sometimes it don't even make sense. Like you sit there with yourself and you get past it and you're just like, bro, what was I worrying for? Like I said earlier, the worst thing that's going to happen is a bit of discomfort. There's nothing that man can't make it through. Do you know what I'm saying? Bills is like the least of, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you might worry about bills, you might worry about where am I going to find. A lot of it is just back to money. Like, money will just be stress for people. Like, I've been telling my brethren, like, bro, I'm not on falling into this trap of just working to just work, like pay your bills, and then all right, cool, I pay my bills. Now, what's left of the month for me to go hustle for myself or live my life? You know, I'm not on falling into that trap, and I feel like most people fall into that trap. You know what I mean? Unless you've been outside, like even with everything that's happening now with COVID and stuff, people's minds are more open if you've been outside. Like it's easier for man to talk to someone who's outside about what we think is really happening and how things affect us. You know what I mean? As opposed to someone who just puts their head down 9 to 5 every day, come home, get your pay slip at the end of the month. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's a lot easier to speak to people who are entrepreneurs, people who have tried other things. They got their own little business. They sell trainers. Their mind's more open to a different, like, you know what I mean? An alternative way of thinking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. And we got, sorry, I think my man here.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say as well, my daughter was actually born to one of your songs. She was born to Ride With You.
Yeah.
And
Nice,
like
man.
just her being born in itself. No, love. Thank you. No, thank you.
Big man.
But she was actually born a little bit premature in it, so that in itself was an experience for me, and it made me reflect on like how I react to things as a man, and like, you know, before I would fly off the handle, and now I sort of like reflect a bit, because I think someone's watching me when she gets older and she starts to process things, she could have a certain view of me. So I just want to know, like, has having a daughter changed like your message or your approach when it comes to making music or releasing songs? Because these songs are still going to be there when she becomes a young woman. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Nah,
not at all,
bro.
But then you haven't.
You know what it
really,
is, bro?
yeah.
My daughter's a G, man. Like, you see me. Have you seen? There's this movie called what's the movie called? Catalina. I don't know the movie. Colombiana. Colombiana,
I've
innit?
never seen that,
bro.
No.
There's a movie called Colombiana. Ever since I seen that movie, yeah. Ever since I seen that movie, I knew if I had a daughter, I was gonna raise my daughter as a renegade, bruv.
Okay.
Only because the world will trap her into thinking that it has to be a certain way.
Okay.
Like my daughter, I'm very open and free with my. Like I would have had my daughter here tonight if it wasn't a school night. She'd be sitting right here. Like honestly, just but you know you gotta be a dad. Like I didn't want you lot to think, right, why is the kid out at 9 o'clock? Me, I would have had her right here. Yo, go bed by 10 o'clock, wake up early. Do you know what I'm saying? But bro, I'm on raising my kid as a renegade. Only because I know where the world's going. This whole that they're not outside. When she's old enough to go and knock for her friends, she's not going to be wanting to knock for her friends. She's going to message them on WhatsApp or whatever's at that time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like we were outside. Bro, I couldn't go link my friends unless I go knock at your house. There was no WhatsApp or anything. But I know where the world's going for them.
Metaverse,
so,
where?
Right. So you have to. So I'm on raising my daughter in a different way. Like my daughter's a G, bro. Like I'll have my daughter at certain places, video shoots, like I'll have her out late certain time. My daughter's a real G. Like she knows me. Like she'll tell you I got the beginning of all my dad's songs. Not all of it, but she'll actually say like I'm only on the beginning. She's very aware. Do you know what I mean? Like because I used to bring her to studio from she was young. She does sensory classes, all these things. She's mad smart for her age. Like I had to move her up nursery. Like her nursery was holding her back, so I had to move her into another nursery. And now it's the same thing with school. She's in reception now. And she's just too smart. Like all the homework they bring home for her, it's too easy for her. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if I don't obviously take action with that, she'll just be held back on a level. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, I raised my daughter like a little boy, bro, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Like not.
Be boisterous, innit?
Do you know what I mean? Like be strong. Like even the last time I picked her up from school, bro, she was saying some boy was pushing her, and I told her, look, I'm supposed to tell you to go tell a teacher. Like, but do you know, like kids, it's mad because kids are aware, bro. Like I'll speak to my daughter and I say, you know, I'm supposed to tell you to tell a teacher, but if a boy pushes you, make sure you push him back, punch him in his face or something. Like I'm on that. Like I'm not on just because she goes to school, she has to be you lot's way. Because I know, but the school system, since I was in school, it's the same now, and the whole world's changed. Do you know what I'm saying? So we know what the kids are going through. They're just gonna, if we leave them how they are and we don't do extracurricular stuff with them, there's gonna be employees. They're gonna wake up one day, I'm going to work for this company, head down, 30 years, I'm going to get a mortgage. Yo, this is it. 30 years, I'm going to be here, 50, whatever, I live off whatever they're going to give me, £600 a week, month or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I raise her like a G, bro. Like, I'm outside and she's outside, bro.
So with that said, in knowing that the world will change and stuff, but knowing that she's still young at the same time, how do you approach education? And because you can't say to her, oh yeah, you know, you're 5 years old, but they're gonna want you to like work until you're.
Nah,
60.
you can.
Well,
Why not?
You can, but
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
like she
I
won't
talk-
deep it the same way like a 15-year-old would.
No.
So
But
you just from
that's the
early-
thing. It's not about how much she deeps it. It's about her being aware. So
Right.
you know, with kids that age, their memory is crazy.
So they were
I
saying
know
my
you
dad
know
always
this.
said to me that.
Right, do you know what I'm
Right,
trying to say?
right,
So
right,
it's
right.
like I said earlier about my mum, there's certain things that my mum used to say that sticks with
Sticks
me.
with you,
So it's like
100.
I never know what my dad would have said.
Right.
So I'm
right.
that dad now. That's
Okay.
like certain things stick
Second
with you.
voice,
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
like
100.
when I'm aware of when I'm telling her, yo, a boy pushes you, I'm supposed to tell you to go tell a teacher. But first, make sure you push him back. Yeah, make sure man knows it's not every day you're gonna come and push me. I'm just gonna run to a teacher. I'm aware of what I'm saying to her, and hopefully she remembers that. So when she grows up, it's like, bro, hold on, wait, I'm in a relationship, and you just put no, hold on. Do you know? Because you never know what's gonna happen, bro. Everyone thinks it's not gonna happen to them, but you don't know who your daughter's gonna be one day. You don't know who your son's gonna become one day, unless you're there and you're present in their life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just about being aware. It might seem like they're too young, but these youths are smart, bro, and they're just aware of things you say. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just about saying it in a way.
They say you only speak for your thoughts, so am I how I speak when I'm around the kids or something like that?
Trust me.
Maths
The
and
ki-
sports,
bro,
that's
the
a
kids
big
are
tune
mad.
as well. Big up
Bro,
E-Man
the
for
kids
that.
are kids are mad smart, bro. The kids, they listen, man. They might not be able to interpret things as much as we can, but they hear things and they remember things. Like one thing I know about my daughter is she has very good memory, bro. If I tell my daughter on a Wednesday evening, yo, I owe you lollipops next Wednesday, she's gonna tell me, bro, Wednesday's here, you owe me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's those little things that you have to kind of like pay attention to and know that, all right, there's certain things I can tell you that's never gonna leave you. Like my daughter, knowing if a boy pushes you, push him back, that's never gonna leave her. And that's because I'm aware of the way that I said it. It's an open space. There's no distractions. We're here talking to each other. You've just told me something. Like, you gotta remember, kids, for her to tell me that in the first place is a step, innit? Because she didn't have to tell me. I didn't ask her. She said, oh, he was pushing me. I remember she said, it was Kane or Dean or one of them little names. You know, these boys have got their names. But someone pushing it. Yeah, he pushed me. He keeps pushing me. He thinks we're small. This is how she explains it. He thinks we're weak. Like, he thinks we're butterflies and all this. You know, like reception, they have like little classes, like rose, like butterfly and worm. Like things like that. It's just, he thinks we're weak. And I'm like, nah, you're not weak. Like, you eat your vegetables and like. You know, but it's just, it's a joke for you, but it's a big thing for them, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, she might remember that till she's 10. At 10, she remembers it, and that's stuck till 15. You know what? At 5, my dad told me, any guy ever pushing me, she's in a relationship at 25, bruv, and the guy strikes out on her, and it's like, bro, nah, my dad always told me, you know what? Let me box you in your face and then run out the house. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And bro, my thing is just you never know, because my whole thing is, it's never gonna happen to me until it happens to you, bro. You know, these kids are gonna go to school. There are gonna be other people in the school that are gonna influence them. They're gonna come home with one day with a word that you're like, how did you learn this word? How do you know about this stuff? What is this? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's just being aware, bro. It's being aware, man. But talk to your youth like you talk to a man, then, bro. Trust me, you never go wrong, bro.
Thank you.
They listen, they hear you, they recognize your expressions, and they're G's, bro. Like the youths are G's, bro. Like real talk. That's our second chance. You know what I mean? I know how you probably feel the same way, but man's got a lot of time, regardless of how your life's going right now. Man's got a lot of time to make sure that when you're my age, you don't have to worry about these things. A lot of things man think about, like finances. Man have to worry about finances. Or I might not be able to do this. I can't afford that. I can't do this because I have to go make money for this. Like, man has a lot of time to make sure they don't have to worry about that, you know. All it is about education, bro. It's about knowing that, yo, man's 15 years ahead. What could you do now with 15 years turned backwards, bro? Everyone in this room would be a million billionaire, whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Knowing what you know 15 years ago, if you could go back, do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just about knowing that, man's 15, 20 years ahead till you're 18. And when you're 18, at least you can go buy your first car, you can go to uni if you want, you can open a business, you can we've got enough time, bro. Regardless of where we are now, we've got, even if man just save £150 a month, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? As little as that into the right places, as little as, do you know what I'm trying to say? We've got enough time, bro. Trust me, man.
Appreciate it. Cool. Well, thanks for that. I think we'll have one more, and then we'll kind of wrap it up from there.
Yeah. In regards to the name of the album, Hustlers Need Healing, at what point in your journey, as a man and as a hustler, did you realize that you need to heal personally?
Just having conversations with normal people, bro. And obviously a lot of this lockdown stuff as well. It's just trying to talk to people about what we think is actually happening. You realize that a lot of people are not open to conversation because of the way that they've lived. And the healing side of things, bro, is just, again, being aware, bro. Like, man's been through things that are not normal. Like, I tweeted about it the other day. Like, if I'm in a car and I'm driving, I'll stop at the lights, I'll lock the door. Because one time I didn't have the door locked, people tried to pull me out of my car. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And things like that, it's like, it's not normal, but it's something I've realized, like, I pull to a lights, I'm like, alright, it's the door locked. It's like, why do I keep doing this, bro? And I realize, it's back to this situation where
that's
man
like
almost got
PTSD.
pulled out of the car. And it's like, that's not normal for people. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, man, we've been outside, bro. There's certain things that man's experienced that it's not normal. Being shot at, the man are running you down. You got 50 bags on your, like, do you know a certain thing, like, you got 4 years worth of salary on your head. Someone just trusts you with.
Yeah, no, of course. That's why I'm asking.
Say? It's like the situation. I realize that the situations man's been through is like movie type situations that you'd only be able to understand it in a movie. And I've seen that more through the whole COVID thing. That people are not open to conversation. A lot of people they're scared to accept the fact that, yo, you know what? These people that you've relied on so much, they might not be on your side so much. And it sounds like you're a conspiracy theorist now. But how can I be if everything I'm saying is coming true? Like, you see, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like people are not open to conversation. So it's made me realize that being outside and being an entrepreneur, for example, or being a street hustler, or wherever you want to be, it opens your mind to just what if. You know what I'm saying? Because like, for a tactical stop on the motorway, bro, 10 Fed cars blocking you in on the motorway. That don't happen to everyone. Not everyone's experienced that. It sounds like, you explain it. It sounds like a movie, bro. You're driving down the motorway. You look up. It happened to me and Marcus. You know what I'm saying? You're just driving down the motorway. You look behind you, bro. The motorway's, bro, why are you not hanging so far back? And then next thing you know, there's like 10 blue lights behind you. Your car, get out of the car, get out of the car. It's not normal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But man will go through that, and then next day, man, Nando's normal. Don't even talk about it. You don't even think about it. But it's not normal stuff. And it's just about man realizing that, a lot of things, man. Like, bro, I was 3 or 5 years old. Car got shut up with my dad in it. I remember it though. Shortly after that, stabbed my mum head to toe. She was bleeding. She ran away to England. That's how I came to England, bro. I got kidnapped to come to this country. I didn't come here on no plane like, yo, I'm happy, I'm moving to England. Bro, I got kidnapped and brought here. It's not normal. Like, for me, it's normal. It's my life. But if you explain it to people, it's like, that's mad. Most people are just born in the hospital, bro. Just went home to their mum and dad. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I know you're a man that, bro, man's not from here. Yeah, it's not normal to make it here and to be sitting in this room. Like, man's an anomaly. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So even that alone is just like, it makes man realize, there's things that man need to heal from. There's things man need to like come to terms with, and then be able to speak on it. Just so if anyone else is going through it, or if anyone's going through something similar, at least you know, this has happened before. You know what I'm trying to say? So, for example, my boy, he's a new dad, and his missus is bugging out. I'm telling him, bro, this is normal in the world of women just had babies. They go through their hormones and stuff, but it's new to him. But me telling him, bro, everyone that has a kid, you probably gonna go through this, innit? Like, women, they go through this. So him hearing it from me, it's like, okay, let me not panic so much. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, so it's just being that voice again, bro. Yeah, man.
Oh man. No, I think those
your missus bugging, innit? Oh, swear!
I'm not the only one.
It's normal, bro. I'm telling you. See, women see that, and that's another thing. It shouldn't take having a daughter, but you become aware of, like, yo, the experience might not be the same for you as it is for the other person. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And being dads, we've always got it easier than the mums, man. Like,
Yeah,
I think
for
that's
real.
unless you're obviously a
Single
single
parent.
father with an absent mother who's not around. But I think we've always got it easier, and we just have to be aware of that, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, man. Yeah, man. The conversation, man, has been really good, man. A lot better than, I ever could have imagined. Firstly, I want to thank, T for coming
Thank
through
you.
and supporting this, man.
Bless, man.
Yeah. If I can, give special thanks out to my team. So Charlie, doing the sound engineering, and Liam, managing everything else.
Beats, rhymes, life, yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out, showing face. You get me? Just gonna do the headline show. We're gonna do the headline show next year. Make sure we get the headline show out of the way. More mixtapes, more collabs. Got some big collabs coming up. But yeah, just thank you for coming out and just, just sit with the tape, listen to it. I got a lot of bodies of work out there, but I feel like this is one of my most vulnerable pieces of work, and it's a good time for it. You know what I mean? Man's been through a lot, bro. I know everyone's been like this whole lot. I think like we just have to come to terms with it. Everyone's going through shit, innit? Like this whole lockdown. My brethren's a DJ. Shorty bless my DJ. I know during the lockdown, man was collapsed for a bit, bro, and now he's back booked, busy. So the other night I went out to one of his events. That's not for me, bro. That's just you would come out and support me. Let me come and support your thing. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I know during the lockdown, man was collapsed, bro. And I know man is very grateful to be booked and busy and be out and about. So DJs, public speakers, the musicians and stuff, and everyone's going through something, bro. And it's just, man are human, bro.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, we can't get away from each other. As much as you hate other humans, much as man's a reclusive, and much as introvert, or whatever pop words you want to use nowadays, everyone's an introvert nowadays, and everyone wants to be, I'm on my own, I love my own company, but they're in the club every week. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just, it's just about being aware of where you are in it, and man's running out of time, bro. I don't know if you lot know, man's running out of time, bro. Like, man's running out of time. Yeah, we're only getting older, and man's running out of time, bro. God's blessings are gonna keep coming, but he might get bored of you one day. So all I'm saying is just be aware of how you feel, innit? Man feels something and man try like brush it over, like, nah, I don't feel that way. Like, right, you said something to me and it made me feel away, and instead of speaking to the person about it, you just internalize it, and now you're having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it every day, road rage, bro. Like, man go out in the road in the morning, people are willing to jump out of their car and have fights at 8 o'clock in the morning, bro. You woke up an hour before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's not because of me and you. That's not because of the driver. That's because man's vexed. Like, bro, I got to make rent by the 21st or the 30th or whatever. I'm going to work. I know I'm not leaving till 5 o'clock. And man are just vexed. You're the closest thing to me. Let me jump out of the car and fight you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And my whole thing with this tape is just be aware of how you feel, blood. Like, be aware of it, because how you feel is what conducts your day. Like I said, I had a brethren that went to a casino for an hour, fam, and instead of leaving that casino and going home, he ended up in jail for 3.5 years. It's just like something that little, man. It's just, it takes away time, you know what I mean? It's a loss of time, bro. So if I can just help one person just say, yo, you know what, TE spoke about this and that. Let me go speak about this and that and just come to terms with it. I'm not angry about it no more. You know what? Bro, I'm not from your ends, bro. I'm not from around here. Sorry. I'm just walking through the ends. Instead of, fuck it. What? I'm not. Do you know what I'm trying to say, bro? Yeah. It's, man ain't trying to keep that going. Like, man grew up in that, and you get to everyone. Bro, I feel like man just living the same life that the generation before us lived, because they get to an age where it's like, bro, it's not worth it. But you got to go through it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at that stage now. Instead of running away from it and trying to be big-headed about it, nah, man ain't gonna try help. Bro, man can avoid all the stress. You can avoid all the headache. You can avoid the heartache. You can avoid losing your brethren on the road. You can avoid all of this, all the heartache, with just coming to terms of how you feel about situations. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm an advocate for, bro. Okay? If I could if I could care a bit more, speak a bit more to my little brother, maybe he would be here at this event with man instead of in hospital. So that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks, man.
But good night, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, lot, man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, listen. There's some food. Absurd Bird have given us food. Do me a favor, just everyone tag them. Say, yo, the restaurant's sick. So just so they keep giving man food. You get me? Go get a drink. But yeah, thank you, lot. Nah, seriously, like, man, don't want to be jovial about it too much. I appreciate you lot's time. Thank you for coming out. Everyone that, you know what I mean, listen to the tape. Good body of work. Thank you very much.